What's going on, YouTube? The Kevin Durant Sweepstakes has come to an end for now. Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets seem to have come to some sort of agreement at this point, and the trade talks are over for the moment. So, a lot of us probably didn't expect this. This is the first time in a long time, it feels like, that an NBA team has actually won a battle in free agency or during the offseason with a player. And, we're going to see where it goes from here. Didn't originally have a whole lot of thoughts about the Kevin Durant Sweepstakes. It was feeling like a lot of situations that we've had in the past in off seasons, or some that even leak into the season. Just the Anthony Davis trade, James Harden needing to get out of Houston, then getting out of Brooklyn himself, and just recently a lot of players just have kind of been getting whatever they want when it comes to the contract talk. So I'm not going to lie, I am kind of happy to see Kevin Durant stand in Brooklyn for selfish reasons also. I really didn't want to see Kevin Durant go back to the Warriors. That would have been super boring, would have been so redundant, and it would have made for another couple years at least of that boring NBA that we kind of experienced for those first times that he was in Golden State. I really hate going into the season knowing what the situation is going to be like and who's probably going to be there when we get to the end of the season in the finals. And that's why I love this last season so much. There was so much parity last season. So many different storylines, different teams having opportunities. And I do think, depending on where Kevin Durant could have landed, it could have kind of been a disaster for this next NBA season as far as like pure interest goes. I really do miss that old NBA before LeBron, spawned the player empowerment movement, when, players signed contracts and kind of stuck to them. I'm one of those guys still to this day. I believe, like, if you sign a contract, like, maybe request a trade, but, like, don't cry about it. So many guys, like, how you sign a 4-year extension and then, like, just a few months later, you're like, okay, I gotta get out of here. I can't play in Brooklyn anymore. Like not too many things can change. I really love seeing players sign a contract, stick with it, be dedicated, even if things don't look like they're going the way they were supposed to. Guys just following through with their commitments. And I think that says a lot about, like, winning mentality, too. Like, when guys commit to a team and they are expecting to succeed there and they're willing to do whatever it takes to succeed in a specific location, I think sometimes you gotta die on that hill. Die on that hill or either battle back. And I think that kind of mentality is the same mentality that gets the Brooklyn Nets swept in Boston. I think that's the type of mentality that, like, when Kevin Durant was in Oklahoma State, they're up 3-1, they end up still losing to the Warriors. When you have a guy or multiple guys that can't deal with adversity, you have guys that are just all about front running. And when things start to not go their way, they, start looking around and they start looking around for a better situation instead of staying and cultivating a culture of winning wherever they are and making that situation what they want it to be. Now, it's one thing when maybe, like, certain promises that a team may have made or certain agreements may have been broken, but a guy like Kevin Durant, he went to Brooklyn, he had everything handmade for him. Kyrie Irving went there first, but they only brought Kyrie in, like, with the intent of getting Kevin Durant in there. We're going to get James Harden in here. Oh, who do you want to coach? Steve Nash? Steve Nash? No coaching experience, Steve Nash? Just barely got out the league, Steve Nash? That's who you want to coach? All right, bet. It's for you, Kevin. We got you. And then a guy gets everything that he wanted, and then when the things that he asked for don't end up shaping out to be what he expected, then he wants to run somewhere else. I just don't really like that, With the Brooklyn Nets seeming to have Kyrie and Kevin Durant locked in for this next season, at least for the time being, I do think the East will be very competitive like it was last year. And these last couple of years, the East has really bolstered up and become the stronger conference compared to the West. And we experienced like 10, 15 years of the West being head and shoulders above the East. So I've really been loving that restoration of balance in the league. there's a lot of talented teams in the West, in the East. The 76ers I am expecting to be a little bit better than they were last year. I do think with all the slander of James Harden over the last like season and a half, I do think we can expect him to, maybe have a little bit of something to prove if he still has it in the tank this year, and maybe find some extra chemistry with Joel Embiid. Kyrie Irving has proven since he left Cleveland that no matter what the problem is, he's going to find it. He's probably going to have a problem everywhere that he's been. And until he proves me wrong, I am going to be on that bandwagon. And because of that, I can't really say that I'm worried about the Brooklyn Nets as a title contender. I said years ago, wish I was doing YouTube back then so I could have it clipped, but I said when Kevin Durant went to Brooklyn, I was like, he's not winning the title, and I still feel that way. I expect Giannis and the Bucks to come out strong again. As long as Chris Middleton and Giannis are both healthy in the playoffs, I do think the Bucks are going to be really tough to stop. And I'm excited to see what a lot of the young teams in the West are going to do too. So I'm happy that Kevin Durant is staying in Brooklyn. I'm excited to see a lot of these other storylines finish out. I do think Kevin Durant going to an overpowered team, a stacked team, would have really just put out a lot of the young fires that we have coming up in the league. And like I said, I'm happy that an NBA team actually won that battle again. I think it's been getting out of hand. I think players just moving around, hopping from team to team year after year. It just gets old, man. It gets old. It gets boring. I'm a big LeBron fan, and I know that he is a huge factor in that climate in the NBA nowadays. But I just kind of want the old thing back. So, guys, stay tuned. Thanks for listening to those thoughts on the Kevin Durant situation. I'm excited for this upcoming season. Gonna have some more off-season talks coming up soon, and just really excited to see what's coming up. Not excited for my Los Angeles Lakers. That'll probably be what my next video is about, so stay tuned for that. And just subscribe, comment if you have anything to say, just so you can keep having this pop up in your feed. You can stay in tune in the discussion. So, peace.